So I'm listening to a news report on my way to work, and they were talking about this place called Refuge Ranch, and it's a shelter for young girls. They were saying between the ages of 11 and 19, young girls who were victims of sex trafficking. And this place is a refuge, a shelter for these girls to get help and to recover um, from their traumatic experiences. Well, the news report, and you probably already heard this already, is about uh, sex trafficking actually happening at the place where they are supposed to have refuge, where they are supposed to be safe. They were saying there was one arrest already made, and I think they were saying eight more are pending because there's an investigation. Yeah, that's pretty bad. We all know this. That's horrible. And it's an unfortunate reality of this life that we live in. But these guys that were commentating on the situation were, they said they were beside themselves. One guy said it made him feel sick. The other guy kind of chimed in and piggybacked that and said, "Yeah, it makes me nauseous, that kind of thing, that this can happen at the place where they're supposed to be safe." You'd think that, that wouldn't happen at the safe house. Okay, well and good. Interestingly enough, when I got to work, um, one of the employees brought up that subject and they were talking about it. And I was listening to him talk. And, that's me. I like to listen more than I like to talk when, conversations are being had. And, they had their little ideas and commentary. Oh, and by the way, the guys on the radio news report were two men talking about it. The people at the office talking about it were women, and they had you know, their little moments where they were discussed it. But the conclusion was the same as the men, and just like the men, these women were saying, "You think at that kind of place that they'd be safe? That's some place where something like that would not happen." And this is where I chimed in. I said, the predators will always go where the prey is. That's the reality that we live in. There are predators out there. There are a lot of evil and vicious people, and they're going to follow wherever victims are. That's where they're going to migrate to. They're going to go and try to offer help, you know, under the guise of being helpful or volunteers, or they're going to apply for jobs there. And, in this instance, in this report at this refuge ranch, this report was saying that these people actually passed background checks, but at least one of them that they arrested thus far, it's a predator. Yeah, the predator is going to follow the prey. That's the way it goes. And I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but I'm saying that to say this: we have to change our attitudes. I mean, this reminds me when I was involved in the church a lot. And it was like, all this stuff happening to people, and I'll just leave it at that, predators preying on others in a multitude of ways. And again, the same attitude, conclusive attitude, you think that this is the place where that would never happen, that people would be safe. I mean, obviously, nowhere is safe. It's especially if the predators are going to follow the prey. And, back to the whole thing about the church could stand to be more mindful because they allow, they give predators free range to prey on innocent souls. And then they turn around and say, you think that it wouldn't happen here. But yeah, churches should be more mindful. And what I mean by that is this: you have somebody that's down and out. What do? Have you tried Jesus as your Lord and Savior? All the while knowing or not knowing, they're inviting a predator into their midst. They have no clue. I mean, predators go through the range of emotions just like any other human being, feeling guilty about what they do. So, yeah, they're going to come in, but they ain't going to change their nature. And Messiah said this: be careful. Don't cast your pearls before dogs and swine, because they will take the pearls, trample them, and turn and attack you. And this is why predators are in the church, because that's the same as casting pearls before swine. When you tell a predator that you don't know a predator, yeah, you don't know it's a predator. You don't know it's a predator. But you cast the pearls, they turn out to be predators, and the church suffers. How will you know if you're casting your pearls before a dog and a swine? That's a good question. I wish I had the answer for it. All I can say is this: you can't trust people. And that's the thing. You trust people. And I say you arbitrarily. And I'm saying in general, you offer up somebody, hey, come join my church. Give your life to Jesus. Now you're trusting that person. You're not supposed to trust anybody. It even says that in the Bible. Trust no man. The Bible even says don't trust yourself. Trust God only. And that's the problem. The persistent trust in people to do the right thing consistently. And we get burned every time. Moral of the story: the predators are always going to follow the prey. Anywhere you have vulnerable people, you better expect that there'll be predators there. Anyway, thank you for listening. Hope you're faring well on this Friday evening. It's a little chilly outside. That's okay. It's warm in here. Subscribe to this channel. God bless.